Got my trailer back in March and looking to make some upgrades already as I've done quite a few gigs and released some pain points. Some questions I have. Number one, I currently have just wood flooring and an anti-fatigue mat. What flooring do you have? So we just go with the floor. We just go with the wood. We haven't really added anything, any anti-fatigue mats. I think the problem with the anti-fatigue mats is you have to wash them. Even the bar mats that are anti-fatigue with the circles in them, that's probably your best bet if you want anything at all. It's better on the knees as well. But we just go with regular floor because it's easy to clean. We just get some soap after every event and just give it a quick wash, a quick little scrub, nothing even crazy. Sometimes we'll just drop soap water on top of it to clean it. You could even do epoxy flooring if you really wanted to, but not really a big deal. Number two, kegs. We have 2 kegerators, but haven't booked one single gig with them, and I'm currently removing them every single time, starting to think I should just sell them and not offer it. Thoughts? So the beer on draft is a good way to maximize your profit. So the price per beer, especially if you get nicer beer, if you can create some deals with some microbreweries. For instance, we just were working with a local brewery, and we got a very good crushable IPA. It's like a 6% beer, citrus. It's just a great beer, and we got full kegs for $180. I think their 1.6 kegs are something like only like $80-85, which is great for that caliber of type of beer. And when you pour out a full keg, you are obviously saving a lot of money and maximizing profits. That's really the biggest thing. And this is a preference piece. And we don't have kegerators. We just have those super coolers where we'll just freeze big blocks of ice and we'll hammer them around the keg so we don't have the expense of getting more bagged ice and things like that. We like to at least have one option of draft. And in certain instances, if you have, for instance, a wedding, or if you have a larger event of 125 to 150 people, you can have the good beer on draft. You can even just get a 1.6 keg and then get some backup cans and bottles once that kicks. So that way you're really maximizing your profit there. A lot of mobile bars don't have kegs at all. If that's something you don't want to deal with, it's not going to have a huge impact on your profit margins. But this is something that you need to focus on in the sales process too. You need to highlight the draft beer and what their options could be and really push that if that's something that you want to pour. Having a good beer on draft, I love it. I think it just adds to the professional experience of the bar. Anybody can pop in with a foldable table and give out cans and bottles of beer. Icing, keeping drinks cold, currently using coolers, and it is working, but takes up a lot of room and having to bend over constantly. I will note we do have a wine fridge, but I don't see how this keeps drinks really cold without getting to the venue hours before, so the fridge can get cold first. So yeah, the fridges inside are a huge advantage, and I think you're located down south. For those that are located down south, if you have a generator that keeps the fridge going too, I can definitely see the value. But for us, we just use all the coolers. If we don't have kegs, for example, that day, we'll put all of our stuff, like the wine, we'll put our beer in there and just use our blocks of ice and put some water on the blocks of ice, and it keeps everything cold from the day before, even up to the event. So that's how we do things. And also the drinking ice. That's also a problem during the summer, especially down south. Again, we have all of our coolers set up usually behind our mobile bar, but if it's very hot, we put it inside, and it does take up a lot of room. But we got an ice bin that is very deep. This thing can hold, I don't even know how many ice bags it could hold. I would guess it could hold probably 20 altogether. If you dump them all out, it could probably hold 20 bags. So that way you have your rushes, you pour a lot of drinks. Once you have a moment to go out and get the ice bags, we do it together. We just have that 1 5-minute session where we're just breaking open bags and we're putting it into our deep ice well. So that's the best thing that you can do. Have a good insulated deep ice well or a wide one. So that way you don't have to keep refilling it and keep dealing with that and bending over and breaking your back. I do see this comment here from Chris too. I do a decent number of events with kegs and just use a Jockey Box and some keg jackets. It saves so much valuable space compared to having a kegerator in there. When not doing kegs, I just leave the Jockey Box at home. Yeah, I hear a lot of people using the Jockey Box. For us, our lines aren't that long, so we ice down the keg. It's been iced down for hours, so the beer is plenty cold. But Yeah, I would think about getting a jockey box in case we do move more kegs outside of the mobile bar. Even if it is close, the jockey box does make it extra cold, so that's always good. The only thing I disagree with is the keg jackets, because when it actually gets very, very hot outside, sometimes that's not enough. I like to have especially for half kegs, that big thing, I want to have it in icy water. I want to make sure it's been iced for hours.